Let's dig in and melt away the fluffy cotton candy that helps us cope with being a regular human and instead look at what it actually takes to become the superhuman, quantum halo activating, untouchable being that you were meant to be. Every time you complain, your brain does two things, and it's not venting and getting things off your chest. But can you live without it? That's a good question. Nothing is working in your life. People are exhausting and you're always stuck. Your life isn't to blame. Every time you complain, you strengthen the neural pathway connected to that thought. And then your brain starts filtering your reality for more of the same. And that means it starts selectively showing you a version of reality that matches your complaints. It's sort of like if you were asked at the end of the day to say how many birds you saw that day, you will have no idea. But if you knew ahead of time that you needed to produce a number, you could see all of the birds clearly and easily. So you feel something, you complain about it, your brain strengthens it, you see more of it, you feel it more, and then you complain again. Your brain takes that all as instruction, not expression. It goes, got it. This is important. Let me find more evidence of this. And suddenly it feels like your life is confirming what you complained about. At that point, you're not reacting to the best version of your life anymore. You're living inside a loop that your brain is maintaining for you. Sounds a lot like manifesting, doesn't it? But wait, I thought venting was healthy, that you just need to get it out. Well, have you noticed that some people can talk about the same problem for years and nothing changes? I'm sure everybody knows someone like that. It's not because they haven't expressed it enough. It's because they've been rehearsing. And yes, expression matters, but not if it's cotton candy. What I mean is if you vent and stop at the complaint because now you feel better, you put fluff and artificial sweetness around your aura, but your brain is a computer, so it registers that as the final conclusion. You didn't process anything, but what you did was install it. In your brain, repetition equals importance, so it builds the pathway stronger. That's why venting only works if it leads to something else, either a new perspective or a new action. If it doesn't, then what you're calling getting it off your chest is actually reinforcement, not resolution. Did you know you have a halo? You can call it an aura, a chakra, anything. What you call it doesn't really matter, but we all have it. It's one way that we pick up on the heaviness of a room when we walk in. It's part of the electrical extension of our humanness. You've probably felt it, but never really learned what to do with it. When you stay in complaint mode, everything around you starts to feel heavy, sticky, icky, and you're totally immersed inside that experience. But when you interrupt it, let's say someone pulls you out of it with humor, it's an instant change. Your mind clears, your body feels different, your perception sharpens. It's like the space around you becomes lighter. It's when your human quantum halo activates. That's not mystical. It's just what happens when your brain is no longer looping that same signal. You're no longer broadcasting it, so you're not locked into receiving it either. And that clear feeling is what you get when you're in a high functioning state of awareness, when you stop building illusions and actually change your mind. Complaining is one of the most socially acceptable ways to stay stuck. It bonds people and gives this oddly comfortable sense of connection and self-validation, but it also keeps you operating at a very predictable level, reactive, patterned, automatic. If you want to become more intentional in your life, if you want to operate at a level where you're not constantly pulled around by the environment or by other people's vibrations, you have to start noticing where you're defaulting into these loops. Because the difference between staying in coping mode and stepping into superhumanness is how you create resolutions. And to do this, you have to be self-aware and boldly honest with yourself. Because if you can't catch the pattern as it's happening, your brain is king and you are fluffy and delusionally unaware. If you can't see it in yourself, I'll always say this because it's always true. Dreams will show you your fluff clearly and directly. It may not look so clear at first when you start trusting your dreams, but as you work with them, you won't be able to refute the evidence for long. You'll see the same conflict repeating, the same emotional reactions, the same situation where nothing changes. You don't even have to believe in anything about dreams, the spirit world, whatever, because dreams simply come from you. They aren't witchcraft or alien implanted. They're your brain's way of showing you exactly what you are reinforcing in your waking life and where you really suck at being the human that you were born to be. Hope that didn't sound harsh. Reality can be a hard pill to swallow, but I'm not here to tell you something that you don't already know, something that you don't already feel deep down. So if your life feels stuck and your dreams feel ominous or vividly realistic, that's good confirmation of what you already know. So can you live without complaining? Well, probably not realistically, but what can you do? First, you can't force yourself to suppress it. So here's what I suggest. Just be a normal human, walk around and do stuff, go to church, go to work, even put yourself into certain environments that you know trigger you. Whatever you do, do it with gusto, of course, and just wait for opportunities for changing your ordinary programmed brain into something extraordinary. So that means the moment you notice yourself complaining, you interrupt it. First, this gets you out of autopilot mode right away. So that's one gold star for you. But then ask yourself one simple question. Am I reinforcing my current reality or am I creating a new one? From there, choose one of two paths. You either reframe, what else could this mean? What am I not seeing? Or you take action. What am I going to do about this? Let me give you a spicy example. Say someone breaks a promise, could be big, could be small. You complain. People are always so unreliable. So-and-so did this for the third time. Hold on now. Okay, you caught yourself. That's step one. Now either reframe. So say to yourself, she doesn't get to define what my experience is with all people. Or the other option is take action, which could look like this. I didn't give her a clear boundary or expectation, so I will do that and I'll reinforce the boundary going forward. Being superhuman in this context means you still experience emotions, but you don't anchor into them in a way that shapes your perception long term. You stop building your identity around every feeling that passes through you. It means you don't let a momentary frustration become a reinforced reality. As a superhuman, you start living in a place where you no longer swim around inside a dirty pool filled with your complaints. You observe them, redirect them, and choose what gets enforced. When you do this consistently, and even just in a short period of time, it starts changing you. You begin to see different options, different solutions, different possibilities. And you're seeing things differently, not because they suddenly appeared, but because your brain is no longer filtering them out. And I guess that's about as close to magic as I would call this real life superhuman manifestation. If you want to dip your toe into how to track these patterns through your dreams instead of guessing, start by joining my free school community. And if you're ready to work with this at a much deeper level, find me in school and talk to me about dream coaching. It's not for everyone, but it might be for you.